Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. This week I decided to do a fun palette challenge. I thought it's been a while since we've done one of these and thought since I'm feeling all seasonal it'd be perfect for an autumn palette challenge. Now I've decided to go with 5 colours for this, and each of these colours have been inspired by the way that the leaves turn in the autumn. So you have your green leaves, you have orange, red, brown and yellow. And you can see here I use these wonderful leaves as examples of what I was using in this illustration. After thumbnailing a few ideas, this time around I decided to use the Ecoline watercolours. These are really bright and vibrant, and plus I can get really nice pigmented tones with these. It's something that I really wanted to do and thought would be perfect to try out for this challenge. Now, palette challenges. Palette challenges are an excellent way to try out different things with colour that you would not normally do. I absolutely adore them. They are a favourite video among my channel. I've done quite a few videos along this sort of theme now, and I really wanted to do seasonal palette challenges. And since I've been massively inspired by autumn at the moment, but this would be the perfect idea to do something with the colours of autumn, because I really do love them. I love the very warm tones. I love the feeling that these colours give me. I love walking out and seeing how like the leaves change and how the seasons change. Seasons changing is possibly one of my all-time favourite things. I get so inspired by it, and I know quite a few of us would be inspired by this too. So I'm putting this challenge out there to everyone to do an autumn themed palette challenge. So for this one in particular I decided to do a centaur. Now you can see on my sketchbook earlier on I did a few sketch designs, and I actually used to draw a lot of centaurs a while ago. I had an art book called Life is a Carousel, and yes, that's a pun on Life is a Cabaret, and the whole book was just me drawing centaur themed like characters, and they each had different themes, and I've been itching to every now and again try out something different, and I thought, hey, I never did a traditional centaur. This would be a really fun way to do palette designs and try out something a little bit different. So this is an autumn themed centaur. She doesn't quite have a name yet. If you guys want to give her a lovely name, you are more than welcome to. And I like this sort of idea that she runs through the forest, and the leaves like become her trail because she is the spirit of autumn herself. I had a few ideas that I was playing with this sort of like autumnal theme. I was going to do a deer god girl like I've done with the Heart of the Forest. I was going to do either that, or I was going to do a tiefling style girl with these big beautiful detailed horns, but in the end I decided to do a centaur because I love this sort of idea of running and the crunching of leaves, and that's kind of what I wanted to invoke with this. So the full list of equipment, as always, is listed down below, but in case you missed any of it, there are links, and obviously it is always down below. But what I use here is I'm using some watercolour paper. This is just a Casa Arts watercolour cold press paper. This is really excellent when you're wanting to do a lot of water, and since I was trying a lot of wet and wet techniques, I thought this would be a perfect type of paper to be able to do this with. I'm also using the Ecoline liquid watercolours. They're very bright, vibrant. They are not light fast, unfortunately, but they are an excellent way for you to get very pigmented colours if you're looking for an alternative to pans and tubes. There are quite a few brands of liquid watercolours out there. I haven't tried all of them. I've only ever tried this one, unfortunately. They can be quite expensive. I'm also using a mixture of brushes. I do get asked a lot what kind of brushes I use. In all honesty, I have a mixture of different brands of brushes because I never really stick to one brand. I've yet to find a brand that I'm absolutely in love with. And I also use my Kuretake dip pen as well as my acrylic ink. This is because it's a really nice way to get nice line work without it having to be black. I was using a brown line work, and with a dip pen I'm able to get some really nice variations in line. And as well, I use my Unipin white gel pen. This is equipment obviously also I have used before and I am massively familiar with. You would have noticed earlier as well that I initially sketched out a very loose concept with a mechanical pencil, and then went over with a coloured pencil. This is a way for me to be able to get my sketch layer nice and clean without having to go heavy in with graphite. Sometimes graphite can be quite hard to lift when you've gone quite heavily, so I tend to do a very loose sketch and then refine my sketch with coloured pencil afterwards. And then if I wanted to do line work, I could do line work with the coloured pencil later on, or just do simple pencil later on if I wish to. It can get very, very interesting depending on what kind of techniques you want to use for different mediums. And I knew the second I started this exactly what I was going to do. And sometimes with art, it can take a while for you to get from your concept to your final piece. I already knew what colours I had in mind. I knew exactly where I was going to place things, and I'm really, really happy with this piece. It looks very warm, really, you can feel a lot of emotion come from the piece, and I'm really, really happy with it. It's been a while since I've drawn a centaur girl, so I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to the horse parts. Some of them are a little bit out of proportion. I will definitely have to work on that again in the future, but I'm really happy with the movement that I've managed to get in the piece. And this is just from me practicing again and again. You'll notice when I was sketching, I rubbed out a few times, like trying to get the right posing. It's just an awful lot of fun, and I absolutely adore these colours together. I think they work so well. I think it would be really nice to carry on this series and do seasonal palette challenges, but with the centaurs again. I think that would be really nice when I do pieces, and specifically when I'm doing like challenges or when I'm doing pictures in general. I like to think of them together as a series, and this is just because I like things to have a continuation with each other. Mainly for storytelling and aspects like that. Seasons and elements are such a huge inspiration of mine. It goes back to my obsession with like druids and fantasy. It's something that I'm consistently find myself going back to again and again in my work. I did have this sort of idea that I really would love to do in the future of tarot designs where they are the elements, and I thought that would be so much fun to do, but this is my problem. I always have so many ideas but very little time, and I find that when you have lots of ideas that go over in your head, the best thing to do is just to thumbnail sketch them all in your sketchbook, go absolutely nuts with them in the future, and then go back and play around with that concept again. This way that you're not wasting any time when it comes to the finalised piece. You already have your sketches there and you get your ideas out, which is always fantastic as well. That's one problem I always find, is I always have far too many ideas but very, very little time to actually execute them. I think it's sometimes really good to set ourselves little challenges to push ourselves with our boundaries. And this is one of the reasons why I can't sing the praises of palette challenges enough, especially if you're not massively familiar with a medium or with colours in particular. It's a really, really good way of pushing your palettes to what you would not normally work with. I have tried darker palettes in the past. I've tried loads of different ones. There's been quite a few on this channel now, and over the years I found that it's really helped not only with my colouring with any medium, it's really helped me understand what works and what doesn't work in particular with my style. But I'm very, very happy with this piece. I'm just adding a few little highlights just to zhuzh a few areas here and there. I could have pushed the colours a little bit more, but to be honest, I'm just really happy with the way that this overall looks. Is there improvements that could be made here? Absolutely. Am I still proud of the final piece? Completely and indefinitely. But I really enjoyed Inktober last month, and I'm currently doing November and having a blast with it. And I do encourage people to have fun with art and enjoy what they do, because at the end of the day, every time you draw, you do learn, and it's an experience. And having fun, as long as you're having fun with your art, that is really, really all that matters entirely. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think and whether or not you participate in my autumn palette challenge. I'd be really interested to see what you do with the same colours. Remember, it's brown, green, orange, red and yellow. I'd love to see what you guys would do with it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Maybe subscribe if you're new to this channel and wish to see more content. But as always folks, stay creative.